Furred. 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 What's going on, YouTube? Quinn here, and today I'm going to be reviewing a 2008 Ford Fusion SEL V6. Now, before I start reviewing this car, I'm just going to tell you how the layout of this video is going to work, so you can skip ahead if you don't want to see the beginning and stuff here. When I'm reviewing this car, I'm going to start and review it like you are somebody who is looking to buy this car, and I'm going to go over everything that's good about the car and everything that's bad about the car, starting from the exterior, going all the way into the interior, and I'm going to go over the engine a little bit. Now, if you already have this car and you already know quite a bit about it, and you just want to see all of the mods that I did to this car, well, the time here is on the screen, and you can skip ahead if you just want to see all the modifications that I got done to the car, and also I'll tell you future modifications that I'm going to do to the car. But for now, let's get started with the review. Again, look at the times on the screen if you want to skip ahead to something else. Let's get started, shall we?
Alright, so the new daily driver on the channel. Sadly, the Civ is for sale. So the front end, nothing too special, but it's pretty nice looking. The SEL V6 comes standard with fog lights and the chrome grille as well. Now, I always told myself, and I always thought that chrome looked pretty ugly on most cars unless they were classy looking, but this car kind of pulls off the classy look, so I do not really mind the chrome at all. I actually kind of like it. I always told myself I got a black car, I'd be blacking it out, but this grille, I don't know, I kind of like the chrome. The headlights on these cars sort of remind me of the last generation of Honda Prelude. Is that just me?
In 2010, they revamped the Fusion. It is still considered the same generation, and it's still built on the same platform, but they changed a couple of things, and I will be mentioning a lot of that in the video. Here you can see they changed the front end. The one up top, commonly known as by fans as the 1.5 gen, has different headlights and a different grille and a different front end altogether, while mine here down below, considered the first gen, is a little bit different, as you can see. I like mine a little bit better because I do not like how the grille goes over the headlights in the other one. I find the grille's just a lot less clean looking, but everything else with the one up above still looks just as good in my opinion.
Anyways, not much more to talk about here. The headlights, they low beams stay on when you turn on the high beams, so I kind of like that. It's not really a big deal, but if you have LEDs or HIDs for your low beams, and when you turn on your high beams, the low beams stay on, so it's kind of nice to have that feature. A lot of cars, the low beams will turn off when you turn on the high beams, so that's kind of nice. Not much more to talk about here. Let's move on to the side of the car, shall we? Actually, maybe we'll go under the hood first. The motor that powers this car is the 3.0 V6 that puts out 221 horsepower to the crank at 6,250 RPM, and it puts out 205 pound-feet of torque at 4,800 RPM. So not too bad, slightly underpowered compared to some of the V6 sedans in its class, but it puts down the power quite well. And these motors seem to be pretty solid, and they seem to be lasting a long time, and you see a lot of these cars on the road, which is, I guess, a good sign. And sadly, this motor only comes with the 6-speed automatic. It does not come with a manual. It would be a lot more fun if it did. And here's a quick little acceleration video. One other note, this car is not a flex fuel motor. The 2010 to 2013s, I believe it is, or maybe it's only the 2012s, they had a 3.0 flex fuel, so they could take E85 and get a little bit more power there, but this car cannot take E85, and I really wish it did. That would have been really, really cool, but you know what, it's alright. This is my daily driver anyway, so I'm not going for crazy performance, and the power that it puts down is more than enough. Passes good on the highway and everything. Passes very good on the highway. I find the power band is really good at highway speeds. Alright, let's move on to the side of the car, shall we? So the side view of this car, I actually really, really like how it looks, and let me explain. So it comes standard with the 18-inch alloy rims here, which I really, really like. Generally, if it just came with steel rims or something, I'd want to get aftermarket wheels, and it's still kind of tempting to do so, but I don't know, these ones look really, really good. They're a little bit scuffed due to the owner probably hitting curbs, but no, I really, really like it. The thing that I like most about this car is that it doesn't look like a lot of the new cars where it's right bubbly and bulky. It has a very sleek look, while at the same time it still maintains a lot of interior room for a sedan of this size, and it's still a big car and it's very long. But a lot of new cars are just starting to get so bulky. If you compare it here to the new Fusion is a very good looking car, but I still find it has that bubbly, bulky look, while this one here has a slick look. Sort of reminds me of a Crown Victoria a little bit. It's a lot different obviously, but I find it has that like kind of sleek looking old classic Crown Vic / Buick sedan kind of look, which I really like. It's a little outdated, but I really like it. Again, a lot of the old cars are just starting to look the same now, so yeah, that's no fun. But yeah, a very great looking car, and classy looking, and for a Ford Fusion, very good job. Also, talking about the side of the car here, we have the Ford passcode. You can type in your passcode to unlock the car if you ever want to just keep your keys in the car. Say you're going for a walk with your dog or something at the park. If you press these two, it will lock the car. And if you press this button after typing in your code, it will open up your trunk. And if you press this button after unlocking your car, it will unlock all of your doors. Just a couple of things that you don't know. And there's also ways to program your own codes into these things, but you can always still use the factory code that comes with the car. The back of this car looks very nice as well. We'll start with the top here. The lip spoiler that it comes with, I really like. Most of the other Fusions of this generation has like just like a normal spoiler, a small like low profile one. But this one here has the lip spoiler, and I find the lip spoiler really makes this car look good. I'm a big fan of big wings and stuff, but you wouldn't want a big wing on this car. This one here is just perfect, and gives the car a bit more of an aggressive look, in my opinion. Yeah, really like it. Of course, there's a third brake light on it there as well. The tail lights. Now, a lot of cars like the new Subaru, or not the new, but the Subaru hatchbacks that had chrome in the taillights, I really didn't like it. And a lot of cars, I wouldn't like the chrome in the taillights, but I do find that this car pulls it off. I have a plan to do with the taillights there, but I'll explain that later on with the mods. And of course, there's a little chrome lip there with the above the Ford badge. I'm not sure if I like that or not. I mean, I don't, like I said, I find this car pulls off the chrome look, but that might just be a little bit too much for me. But yeah, overall, the back end looks really nice. With the any of the V6 models of these cars, they come with the dual exhaust. Because this one is the SEL, the highest model, this has the chrome tips on the exhaust, which I find would make the car look a fair amount better. A little rust by the keyhole there, that is a common problem on this car. And another thing with the exhaust, if you want to know if it's the 2 liter or the 6 or the V6, all the inline 4 2.5 liter, I believe it is, they all have just a single exhaust, and it's on the right side there. There'll be just 2 little exhausts, like a dual tip only on the right side, and all the V6s will have dual exhaust. Again, not all with the chrome tips. And of course, there's backup sensors in this car here as well. More to that later when we get into the interior. But yeah, overall, a very nice, clean looking back end. Not too much going on. It's very simple looking, and yeah, I like how it looks.
And what we have here is the 2 first gens, commonly known as the first gen and the 1.5 gen. The first one is the older one that I have, and the second one down below is the one they updated in 2010. Just thought I'd post this here so you guys can see the differences. I think they both look pretty much evenly as good. I do like the chrome taillights, but some people like the red more. I think they honestly look evenly as good. It really depends on just what you're into.
So now that we've got the exterior done, let's get on to the interior, shall we? Nice BMW just taking off there. So, we'll start off with the passenger door here. Just your standard window lockers, automatic unlocker, power everything, mirrors, windows, and we have a cup holder and storage down here. On the seats, we have this, which moves your seat back and forth. This makes your seat tilt, the whole thing tilt back and forth and move up and down. This makes the, hardens the back part here. I can't think of the word for it right now. And this is not electronic, that just moves your that back and forth. As you can see, the passenger side only has that thing there. You can't do anything else. And to move it back and forth, there you have this little bar there, which isn't present on the other side. Excuse the mess of the interior. The seats are probably my favorite thing about the interior. Not all of the SEL V6s come with the red leather, but I definitely like the red leather. Maybe it's just because I'm a young guy and I like it a lot here. But yeah, it's on both sides. So sitting in the driver's seat here, everything's pretty standard. Our vents are standard. The windshield wiper controls are here, and this is also the turn signal and the high beams. I kind of like that it's all on one side. It just kind of frees up some space over here. Really not a big deal though. Headlights, automatic, off, parking, and fully on. These are your dimmers for the dash lights, and electronic trunk opener here. So that will not work if your battery dies, so you just have to use your key outside. It's pretty simple. The gauges are pretty standard. I do know that the generations that I showed you earlier, considered the first gen, but 2010 to 2012, they updated the speedometers, so they look a little bit nicer. I will post a picture. And over here in the middle dash, this vent here did break. The owner ended up breaking it there. I don't know how he did that, but I'll show you a couple cool things here. We have our touch screen with navigation. Let me turn the car on. And yeah, it's pretty outdated. I love this analog clock here. You change the time just by doing, you know, pressing that there. I love it. I think it's so cool. A lot of people actually complain about it. They don't like it. It also lights up at night, and you do have a digital one up here if you need to use that as well. But yeah, I love it. I think it looks really classy. So yeah, if you want to use your, you know, put it onto, there we go, brighter. So yeah, that's your navigation. It's very standard. You can zoom in and out and just set your GPS and all that stuff. And all the media controls here. And down here is all your climate stuff with heated seats. And yeah, pretty straightforward. I kind of like how it's clearly, they're both clearly separated. What else can I tell you here? You get your warnings here, so and you clear them by pressing reset. So my fuel's low, press reset and it clears. Tire pressure sensor, one of them's broken, press reset, and this is all your info here, and you just press info over here to cycle through everything like you normally would do with a car. If you press the setup button and then press reset, it'll check everything like your fuel level, your brake fluid level, and your oil pressure. It'll check all of that for you, which is pretty cool. If you press setup and then press it again right away, you can change it from metric to English. Now it'll display everything here in miles. Obviously the speedometers won't change, but now that is the total miles on the car. Well, before, you know, I'll press it again, setup, and then change it over to metric. Now we will have kilometers again. So that is pretty cool. And if you cycle through by pressing the setup a third time, so you can do your system check, then you can do your units change, and then you can also change the language by pressing reset, and you can go through all the languages there. So that's pretty cool. And we got our traction control button up here and our four-way flashers, and there's not much more to show you. Cigarette lighter here, cup holders here. Obviously it's in automatic. Oh, and I like this center console. One of those center consoles where you grab one switch and it only opens up a tiny thing here. Oh, I forgot I had $20 there. Right on. And if you grab the full thing, it'll open the whole thing there, and that's where I just keep my dash cam in the charger. There's my USB stick in there. That's what I listen to music out of. And you also have an auxiliary cable in there, which is good as well. But yeah, you can just close it, shallow, deep. So yeah, I really, really like that. I guess I should mention that we have a sunroof, and the controls for that is right there, and it's an auto sunroof, so you just press the button and it'll open the full way, and if you tap it again, if you only want it open partial way, and you can close the top here as well. Pretty cool. And in terms of other storage, we just got a deep one over there, and then we also have the glove box here. And mine's a little full with junk and stuff right now, and over here you can put CDs or like your manual and stuff. I really, really like that. It's a cool idea for extra storage there. And also for the last thing for storage, there is a thing in the middle here. So overall, the interior is a nice place to be. The seats are very nice. People who like fancy cars might argue that it's like plastic and stuff like that, and you know, they might argue that the interior feels cheap, but for me, going from that 2001 Civic, the interior is beautiful. Like I feel like I'm driving a Rolls Royce. But yeah, very nice interior here. Let's check the back seats here, shall we? So yeah, in the back seats, nothing too special. There's no storage on the doors, but we do have some on the back seats here. I like to keep those empty because they can get kind of stretched out. And as you can see, here is a lot of legroom. I am 5'9", and I have plenty, and this is where I normally sit because I am 5'9". I'll just sit here to give you like a bit of a better example. But as you can see, I have a lot of legroom here. I got a lot. I can sit right down and slouch over. Now, if someone was a little taller, the seat would be back. But as you can see, there's a lot of room for adjustment. Headroom is good. It was a little crappy in my Civic, but it's good here. This car has a sunroof, so the roof does go down a bit more, but no problems there. We also have cup holders in the middle here, and yeah, nothing too special about that. Trunk space, you'll have to excuse me, it's very messy because we just recently went camping. I have a sleeping bag and a blanket here and a box full of stuff. But as you can see, it is extremely roomy. You will not complain about the trunk space if you get this car. And to fold your seats down, you actually do it from back here. You can't do it from inside. You pull that, and the seats will both open up. It's about a 70-30 split there. And I got the trunk light out because I'm currently changing that over to an LED. So just a couple of final notes before I go over my final review for this car. And then I'll show you guys all the mods that I have done to the car and all the mods that I'm going to have done to the car. I'll explain those as well. So, fuel economy. I get, right now in the winter, doing a lot of highway driving with my winter tires on, I get 9 liters per every 100 kilometers. And if I switch that over to metric, that is 26.2 miles per gallon. So for a 6-cylinder sedan and a big 3,500 pound car, that is very good. In the summer when I was doing mostly highway driving, I was getting 8.2 liters for every 100 kilometers, which I believe, check it, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that's around 28 or 29 miles per gallon. So again, for a V6 car, that is really good. If you're doing all city driving, like you're stopping and going, that's where this thing you'll lose your fuel economy. But yeah, very, very good car. And for the handling, it handles actually very well for a big sedan. From what I've been told, obviously the new Ford Fusion Sports, they're like 325 horsepower, so they're faster than these, but that's the 2013 and above. But these ones handle better. They stay very flat during the corners, and I'm very happy with the handling. I also have other people who had them, and they said the handling is great. And the mechanic that is at the garage that I go to every now and again for safety inspection, when I told him I got this car, he said that they handle very, very well. So for a big V6 sedan, that's very good. My Civic, the suspension was getting old and squishy on it, but it was better than the Civic for handling, for sure. My mom's Mazda 3, a lot of people say Mazda 3s handle very well. This thing handles just about almost as good. And considering that is a smaller car, this is a full-size sedan, that is very good. This is just a little bit behind on the handling than my mom's Mazda 3, and that thing handles great. It stays flat during the corners, and so does this. It's just a little heavier, and you can feel it, right? Yeah, and I would almost say it's actually almost as good as the Mazda 3, so that is good. So, should you get this car? Yes, I would say you should, because the engines seem to last long. From what everyone said, they last long. They do tend to have little tiny problems, like I hear the brakes can go mushy on them, and people have been having problems finding out the problem for that. I've heard problems with the driver's side door handle, but I haven't had any of that. But as long as you take good care of this car, I'm sure you will get it way above 200,000 kilometers, no problem. I just put 20,000 kilometers on this car since I got it, and I never ran into any problems yet. I did have to flush through the brake lines because I somehow got air through the line, but other than that, the car has been great. No problems so far. So, I would absolutely recommend this car. It has great space in the interior, great trunk space. It is fast, got a 0 to 60 time of about 6.9 seconds to 7 seconds, depending on how you're driving. And you can also get it in all-wheel drive, which I do not have, but that'll sacrifice fuel economy. But yeah, this car has a great interior. Basically has everything. It is a good all-around car, and it is not too expensive. I definitely think it is a good alternative as opposed to the same generation BMW, depending on what you're going to get. But I mean, if you're just looking at like the not an M3, but just a normal BMW. I can't remember what they're called. This car is pretty much just as good in every way if you look at all the specs and everything, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, great, it's a great car, so I would recommend it for anybody. And I got this thing for $4,000, and they're generally for sale for about $4,000 or $5,000 for the V6 model. So yeah, definitely recommend it. I just wish it was a manual, not an automatic. But that's good for some people that it's an automatic. So for mods and future mods I'm going to do to this car, let's start off with the front end here. For the headlights, we have cheap eBay LED headlights. They're a little hard to see right now because they're bright. Yeah, that's a bit better. But yeah, they are extremely bright, and I am really, really happy with them. They don't blind other drivers too bad, and they don't, like the beam actually stays down quite low, and they are a lot better than stock. So you got to be careful with those cheap eBay LEDs, but they're really, really good. And as for the fogs, I have yellow fogs, but check this out. If I go in and turn them off and turn them right back on again, every time you turn them off and on, they the colors change. So I'll show you that right quick. So yeah, those fog lights are really cool. Again, you just turn them off and then turn them back on again, and they alternate colors every time they turn on. The only thing kind of annoying, if you want them on yellow when you turn your high beams on and off, they will be white again, because that turns off your high beams, turning them on and off, right? But yeah, the only other problem I have with them is that they're really dim. I'm probably just going to go for a really bright pair of yellow ones, because they're just a little too dim for my liking. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I got done with the front end. I do have a video on the fog lights, on the installation, and I do not have a video on the LED headlights yet, and the high beams are just halogen. Down here, future mods. Oh, the badge. I'm going to get a black and chrome badge just to match the car better instead of that blue color. Blue color is just out of place. And down here, I'm going to cut out the plastic on that side, cut out the plastic on that side, and I'm going to put in a 32-inch quad beam, aux beam LED light bar. It is on the way right now. Everyone thinks it's a little dumb to put in the car there, but I do a lot of driving at 4 in the morning going to work. And there's a lot of deer on the road, and if I can I do a lot of side road driving too, so if that'll help me see deer that are going to jump out ahead, then I will absolutely give it a try. And they are extremely bright, and everyone goes, oh, you're going to blind other drivers. Well, I'm just going to turn them off with my high beams with the toggle switch, so I don't see the problem with that. So that's pretty much it for the front end. I don't have any modifications done, just the future ones are that light bar, new yellow fogs, and the emblem. Let's go on to the side. So for the side, I have a video on this. I got WeatherTech rain guards. They are in channel. They look a lot more cleaner than the ones that stick on the outside, in my opinion, at least for this car. Some cars rock the outside ones, but I find this one doesn't. That's all I got done for the outside on the side. I got the ABS ones, but they did not fit my Ford Fusion. So if you do have this car and you're looking to get the ABS ones, just be careful with that. I'd go for the WeatherTech, even though they're slightly more expensive. I also have the window curtains in there. I will get to that later when I get to the interior. Yeah, they're just for privacy and stuff. You know, I used to go to parties with my girlfriend and we'd sleep outside in the car. And also, if you ever get tired on your way from work, if you do a lot of driving back and forth to work, you can pull over, peel them across, and you're all set and ready to go. So that's it. That's all I got for that. For the side, I'll get more to those curtains when I get inside. I also do have a video on those curtains, so check my channel out for them. As for the back, there's not too much I want to do. I just want to get that Ford emblem to be black and chrome. I want to get my mufflers. I want to get some louder mufflers on there because I do find the car really quiet. I don't want it to be too loud, but I know a V6 would sound nice if it was a little louder there. I just don't want it to be too loud inside because I had to deal with that with my Civic when the exhaust fell off and it was just awful. So I don't want it to be too loud. And the only other thing I want to do for the back is possibly paint that chrome piece, but I might just leave it the way it is. And I'd like to take those headlights, taillights, find a way to separate them, and I'd like to tint that red piece inside black. I've done it before. I know when you tint your taillights, you can have it looking good with a lot of light output, and I think the black would just match the car very, very well. And let's go in the interior, shall we? Also, it's going to be really ricey, but I might do underglow as a future mod as well, because it is very cheap and I do like it, and screw what all the haters say, because I think it looks good. It's illegal to have it on here, but I don't know, if I go to a car meet, I can just put it on, and I don't know, just something I always wanted to have. Again, a lot of people hate on it, but I like it. For the interior, I'd like to, or I got one on the way. It is a heads-up display. I'm going to mount it right about here, and it can display your tachometer, your speedometer, and your fuel economy as well. I got it on eBay for about $20. It's just taking forever to come, so I got to figure out if that's on the way or not. So we'll see if that's coming as well. So also I have the VIP window curtains in here. A lot of people make fun of these. They think they're really, really dumb. But all you got to do, I'm not going to show you guys right now, but you just take off that Velcro there, and you can pull it right across, and they're attached to rails on the top and rails on the bottom. A very easy and cheap mod to do. Again, a lot of people make fun of them. They think they're really stupid looking, you know, but you know what? If you like them and you want it done to your car, go right ahead. Again, I do use them for some things. I have a video of me installing those, so please go check that out if you are interested in getting some for your car. It'll show you how to install them and show a little preview of how they work. I already mentioned it, but the back windows, it doesn't look like it right now, but they do have a tint on them as well. 5% tint already done to the car when I got it, so that's good as well. For the interior, I got LED dome lights and reverse backlights there. They are very nice, and if you want to see more of those, I have a video of me installing those as well. If you want to see more of a preview of it before and after, go to that video. And in this little cubby here, I got a little remote, and it changes all the colors for my footwell underglow that I have here, and you can turn it on and off with the remote or with this here. There's always electricity going to that, so actually, yeah, you do always have to turn it off. Always is good to turn off with that, or else that red light will be on. But yeah, for the interior, that's basically it. I don't have anything coming except for, again, that heads-up display. But yeah, that's it. Anyways, guys, that is it for my review on the 2008 Ford Fusion SVL V6, shall I say, my daily driver. If you do like it and want to see the future mods that I put on this car, such as the light bar or the heads-up display, please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see that. Or just check in later, and the videos will probably be uploaded. I'm going to get it done as soon as I can. I just work a very busy job, so it's hard to get everything done. For the future of this channel, I'm basically just going to make funny car videos, and I'm going to put every single modification or any single thing they need to fix with this car up onto my channel to help other people out to see, you know, just in case I need help. And again, if you want to follow this car, yeah, go right ahead. Nothing too interesting because it's a daily driver. For my future plans for cars, I would like to get a motorcycle in the next year. So, yeah, and I'd like to do, helmet cam driving vlogs with that as well. And I also have a dash cam, so I'm going to try to put up some dash cam compilations. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, this channel will be here for you. Not much else to say. I'd like to go to some car meets too and get some pictures of all the nice cars that are there as well, and get that on video as well and put it on YouTube. Yeah, so if you like this Ford Fusion and you want to follow it for ideas for your Ford Fusion, or just want to see what it's going to be like in a year, again, this is a channel for you. That's all I got for today. My name is Quinn. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I hope you come along for the ride that's going to be this channel, and I'll try to upload it and make it upload daily and make it as interesting as possible. Alright guys, that's all I got for today. Have a fantastic day, and thank you very much for watching. Take her easy.